Dr. Darold Opp. Come on up, Doc. There we go. Cartoon. All right, here we go.
We're live.
And your clock start.
Well, I'm Dr. Darold Opp, and I'm happy to be here today, and it's what an honor it is. My wife can remember the day. It was April 26, 2010. It was our 30th wedding anniversary. We took a trip to Minneapolis. She spent time with her sister and her family, and I was about a half a mile down the road spending time with my new family, an attorney from Atlanta, accountants from Memphis, my personal attorney, and myself. I told my story. When I got done, the attorney from Atlanta pulled up his chair, got knee to knee with me, and he said, "What reasonable dentist spends 6 figures a year in marketing, and who in the hell are Glazer Kennedy guys anyway?" And I says, "Well, I'm an entrepreneur dentist, and they're my lifeline." He says, "Not anymore." He says, "What reasonable dentist gives 6 figures to charity every year?" And I said, "A dentist that cares about other people, wants to give back." "Not anymore." And he got up close to me, and he got right in my face, and he says, "Have you ever had a come to Jesus meeting?" And I says, "Yes, I have." And he says, "You know what? Good, because the hell you're about ready to go through, you better hope Jesus shows up." I had a business outside of dentistry for 9 years, and my business partner, unbeknownst to me, was undermining tax laws. In 2010, I filed a voluntary disclosure with the IRS, and I had no clue what I was in for. They came at me with everything they had. They tried to try me for criminal fraud. They failed. They tried to try me for civil fraud. They failed. I didn't realize how many penalties there were in the IRS code, and it was all said and done. The only thing they could hang me with was back taxes and interest. So 2 years later, on the night in November, I sat down. Mentally, physically, psychologically, and financially, I was a mess. I had a pen in hand, and I wrote out 12 checks to the IRS for 7 figures plus. My whole life savings, 24 years I worked for. In 10 minutes, it's gone. I went from a millionaire to a nillionaire. 55, I wasn't even broke. I had to borrow $500,000 to pay off attorneys and accountants and survive. And my biggest concern at that time was, I didn't care about the money. I didn't care about my business. I just didn't want my wife to leave me. Because that was my greatest fear in life, because only 4 people, none of my family members ever knew what was going on beyond my wife and myself. That was it. So that's where we were. It was just the most horrific time of my life. And it gets worse, folks. It gets worse because in my office, within a matter of 2 weeks, I had a patient call me up, long-term patient. She said, "Is it true of what the rumors were saying?" I said, "What are the rumors? That you're losing your license?" I said, "It's not true. It's lies." That same week, my mother-in-law is on a public transportation line, and the driver turns around and says to her, "I hear your husband's getting a divorce. Is that true?" The week later, the same driver says to my mother-in-law, "The rumors are now that he has to sell his house. He's moving out of town because he's going to prison." Ladies and gentlemen, I live in a small town in South Dakota of 25,000 people. How long do you think it takes for rumors to get around town? It doesn't take very long. Not at all. So what do? About 2 years later, my wife and I have a burning party. We throw all the copies of the IRS papers in a box. I put a gallon of gasoline on it. And I can't get that video to work. I apologize. There it goes. It comes up. And I says, "We're going to have a burning party." My neighbor calls me and says, "Hey, are you making a bomb over there? Because I'm seeing all this smoke and what's going on?" And I says, "No, I'm just burning a bunch of IRS papers." And he goes, "You're such a kidder." And I says, "Yeah, I'm a kidder." So we're sitting there, and I told my wife, "You know what? Life's about choices. You can either become a whiner or a winner. You can either become bitter or you can become better." Hey, we had a major loss in our life, but you know what? We're not a failure. Failure is an event. It's not a person. And I said, somehow, some way, we're going to make something good out of this. I don't know how, but you got to believe in me. And that's what we did. Here's my production numbers. In 2008, when this all began, my office was $1.6 million. not anything to, get excited about, surely not to be a marker of the year. But in a time when the economy stunk, when the majority of dentists' income was going down, their new patient numbers were going down, we were escalating. In 2013, my production was 3.4 million. My net was 1.6 million. And here's the kicker. That's 8 times the national average for income. I refer out $1 to $1.5 million of dentistry a year because I just do what I want to do. I want to be de-stressed. So I just do what I really enjoy. And that's what we did with production numbers. And you know what? The reason we have these numbers is because of Dan Kennedy. Because of his techniques and because what he has taught me and what a number of his coaches have taught me through the years. So where did I get my idea? When I was going through this whole ordeal with the IRS, I was looking at the Heart of Mom, and this is the largest publication in dentistry today, largest in the world. And Howard Ferrand said 92% of all appointments, dental appointments, are made by women. And I said, why isn't my focus on mothers? And that's when I got the idea. I said, you know what? I'm going to do a Dan Kennedy thing. I'm going to create an avatar for reaching out to women, because what do women care about most? Their children. It's not their husbands, I'm sorry, but it's their children. And that's what we decided to do, because we live in a day and age. You see the cell phone that the young mother has there? It's harder and harder to reach mothers today. We've got Facebook, we've got texting, we got Twitter. I don't have any idea what that stuff is, but I'm too old for that stuff. I'm as old as Dan Kennedy in 1954. And you know what? But they do it. And so how do we reach out? And we decided, you know what? We got to do something unique. And that's what brought me to this, a simple report. I looked at this report, and in the section that has social events, and I said, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Chiropractors love to do patient appreciation events. And I said, you know what? We're going to do an event, but we're going to do it in a public forum. Because for 24 years, my community supported me. And I'm going to show them, thank you very much for helping me out. But another means, I want to say, listen, to the naysayers, to all the people creating the rumors, you know what? The demise of Dr. Opp was a little bit premature. I'm still around. I'm still hanging in there, and I'm not dead yet. And so that's what we did. We went ahead and we created something called Smile Palooza, where kids and fun meet. This is something that is unique. No one in dentistry is doing this. No one in healthcare is doing this. We created our own niche, and what it is an event where kids have a lot of fun. The first year we had this, I thought 300 people will show up. We had over 3,000. In 6 years, we've had 25,000 people at this event. Look at all the moms. Look at what's going on. These are future patients. And what we do is we have superheroes. We have Disney princesses. We have horse racing. We've got the princesses there. I have 40 different costume characters that show up at this event. That's my own custom tooth man. I've got custom tooth fairy, custom cavity creep. This is what it's all about. We have the world's largest toy bubble tower. We have 9 bouncy houses. We've got races, but I always wanted to be a clown. This year, our circus event, I was a clown, and that person pushing me was a patient of 29 years. And she said, can I be a clown with you? I said, yeah, but you got to push me. So I'm going pushing out. Now look at all the iPads, look at the iPhones. Facebook is just massive with pictures, with video, social media like we never ever dreamed of. But you know what? It's all about the kids. It's all about the fun. Look at the moms. This was a Bieber dance, and she's dancing the one behind. These are the bouncy houses. We have 9. The circus animal hats. Look at Spider-Man having fun. Look at those big walking puppets, cooler than cool. But you know what's really cool? Is at the end of the day, the kids coming up to the camera and say, can we say thank you to Dr. Opp? And the parents come up. You know, and I got a wall full of pictures, stories, letters. This is my lead generation system. I do a lot of direct mail. Yes, I spend $132,000 in marketing last year, but I took a risk to get on stage today because I want to focus on one thing and one thing alone, and that is this event. So where do we go from here? What do we, costume characters? You see the mermaid? That's an actual tale by Eric Ducharme, who did the mermaid tale for Pirates of the Caribbean and for Lady Gaga. It's the actual tale. That was our mermaid at a Pirates theme. That's my custom, I don't have muscles like that. My head's kind of big like that, but the Tooth Fairy dress was a $1,000 dress done with satin chatil. It glitters in the sun. The girls come up and they just go, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. You talk about getting through the clutter. It's amazing. It's amazing. Building relationships with moms. We do a lot of direct mail, but listen, there's nothing better than hitting moms with mail with trusted, warm leads, and that's what we're trying to generate here. Warm leads, better than cold leads. Supported by sponsors. The first year last year, 80% of my event was paid by sponsors. This year, nothing. What's the return on investment on that? It's immense. Free publicity. South Dakota's version of Disney World. I didn't pay a dime for that. And to be branded with Disney World, does it get any better than that? Yeah, it does. Because we got ABC to come up 2 days before the event and do the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock news for free. And they gave me 85 ads in kind for 2 weeks up to the event. And they're going to help me again this year. Event promotion, we send out postcards, we send out emails, we've got, everything to the list that we've accumulated through the years, because we have about 5,000 on our list. Event promotion, we do billboards, ties in with our radio ads, TV ads, and everything else. Wristbands, I hired Robert Scrobe to help me with wristbands. We're very sneaky. How do we get information? You don't get to play in the bouncy houses unless you register. So they have to have a wristband, just kind of like Disney, kind of a good idea. All the bags on the bottom, 1,500 branded bags with our names on it. All the sponsors get to stuff their stuff in there. Makes it pretty nice. Follow-ups, we have offers. Jerry Jones did all my marketing. Tremendous marketer. And we have a lot of fun with this as well, and we do that, and we have branded radio ads. The minute the show is done, this is your Smile-Palooza dentist talking. You need to come in because we do magic, we do balloons, we have idea paint that you can paint on the walls. We have a mini Smile-Palooza event in our office every day. The Dark Knight will show up for appointments. Kids will come in, they'll see SpongeBob sitting in the chair. It is an event. It's an experience all year long. What do we do? 232 new patients, almost $400,000 in revenue. Would you dress up as a clown for 3 hours one time a year to generate $400,000? Lifetime value, $1.2 million. Licensing program. Robert helped me with the licensing program. We already have 6 licensees, full information marketing program. Our webinar is done. It was done yesterday. Thanks, Robert, for that. One of the licensees is in South Dallas, Metro Dallas. Listen, when we were going through the worst time of our life, I told my wife, you know what we're going to do? We're going to give ourselves out of debt. She says, where did you read that? Did you read that in that No Biz newsletter? She doesn't even know what BS is. And I says, no. She said, is that your idea? I says, yes. She said, I'd feel more comfortable if that was Dan Kennedy's idea. And so I said, no. So what we did was we said, you know what? We're going to take the focus off ourselves and put it on somebody else. We got involved in the project in Honduras 5 years ago. These are dump children. We're rescuing dump children from the dump. They live in the dump, they eat from the dump, they have no hope in their life. We're building our 4th school building now. We've got 200 kids in school. We have a full-time medical center that sees patients. We're funding that. And you think it makes a difference? These 3 kids were dump children 10 years ago. All 3 of them are at the university. One studying nutrition, one studying graphic design, and the little girl in the middle is going to be a dentist. How about that? That's pretty good. Renegade millionaire, ask for nothing you don't earn, make no apologies for having anything you do, and fight like a cornered tiger against those who would seek to compel apology or steal the fruits of your ingenuity, investment, and labor. I had that taped on my wall for 6 years. You can see the tape. Every day I'd come to work in my office, I'd read that and say, you know what? I'm better than this. I'm better than the IRS. I'm going to survive. 3.5 years, I've replaced all my income. I got all my money back. I'm ready to retire. My practice has increased 110% since 2010. I just got to find somebody to come up and buy my practice. I want to be an information marketer full time. And that's kind of where I'm at in my life. I want to show you a video. And Ron Cheese was with me last month in Honduras. If I can bring this thing up again. I think I lost it. It's here somewhere. And that turns on. This is a video of the kids thanking me for giving them hope in life. And I'll tell you what, there's no greater satisfaction in these kids coming up to you and saying thank you. My mom and dad passed away last year. My dad passed away May 19th. My mom died 6 weeks later from inoperable colon cancer. My 2 best friends, and they said, listen, When you get on the big stage, son, you make sure that you have seats for us. They're not here today. But my mom always said in the nursing home, she said, son, she'd introduced me to some of the nursing home people. She said, son, keep on doing what you're doing. Because you know what? You love the children, and the children love you back. And I think that video says it all. Hey, thanks for the opportunity. I'm blessed. God bless you.
Hey, great, fantastic. Wow, thank you. Great job, really great job. Let's hear it for Dr. Opp. Wow. Not a bad start.